When asked about his lack of friends, a Stoic man likened friendship to a diamond, elusive and precious. Friendships are rare, valuable, and often surrounded by imitations, he said. After a few errors in judgment, you begin to believe that all friendships are mere illusions, just fakes. Building on this sentiment, another individual observed, "True friends are treasures to be held dear, yet how often do we find one whom we can truly hold in such high regard?" But what does it mean when you find yourself often alone in a world that seems overflowing with connections? Does a lack of friends indicate something deeper, something inherent in who you are? We are surrounded by social media notifications, constant messages, and endless connections. Yet people have never felt more isolated. People have thousands of followers, but no one to call at midnight. They are tagged in posts, but rarely invited in real life. They wake up scrolling through endless conversations, but feeling utterly alone. So does not having many friends mean you are broken? Or have you simply outgrown the need for shallow connections? Today we'll dive into this delicate topic, exploring the nuanced world of friendships, or the lack thereof. We'll examine the complexities of modern social dynamics and how they influence relationships. The Stoic perspective on friendship, why Marcus Aurelius and Seneca valued quality over quantity. How the Vikings believed in strong brotherhoods but never forced friendships. Why Sun Tzu warned that the wrong alliances weaken you more than having none. And most importantly, practical Stoic steps to forge authentic, lasting friendships. Because not having a sea of friends doesn't reflect your worth. Sometimes it's about finding that one true gem. So stay focused and let's embark on this journey through the lens of Stoicism, with open minds and open hearts. But before we begin, consider leaving your like on this video. Subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Your support is greatly appreciated. Let's begin. Part 1. Shyness and Introversion. What does your lack of friends say about you? If you find yourself alone more often than not, does it mean something is wrong with you? Or could it reveal something deeper? What if your lack of friends isn't a sign of failure, but a sign of something rare? In this world, where people collect friends like trophies, there's an unspoken truth. The ones who walk alone often see what others cannot. And that's where shyness and introversion come into play. We are told that to be successful, admired, and respected, we must be social, outgoing, and charismatic. But the Stoics, the Vikings, and even the great strategists like Sun Tzu saw things differently. They knew that silence is a weapon. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A person's worth is measured by the things they can walk away from." What if your solitude isn't about rejection, but about who and what you refuse to settle for? You see people talking non-stop, but saying nothing. You watch friendships built on convenience instead of loyalty. You feel like an observer in a world that prioritizes noise over depth. And because you refuse to play the game, people assume you're awkward, antisocial, or broken. But Stoicism teaches us to detach from these expectations. The Vikings, too, valued silence and discipline over empty words. A warrior who spoke less, observed more, and chose his words wisely was seen as wise, not weak. And today, that still holds true. Because here's what most people don't realize. The quiet ones are the ones who see everything. How to turn introversion into a social advantage. Control what's in your power. You can't control how others see you, but you can control your actions, words, and kindness. Speak to express, not to impress. Shift your focus from fear of judgment to authenticity. Build relationships like a Stoic. Friendship is not a trophy to win. It's a garden to nurture. Like Seneca once wrote, "Life is a journey. Every interaction is a step, not a test of your worth." So if you lack friends, ask yourself, am I alone because I struggle to connect, or because I refuse to pretend? Because the answer to that question says everything, and we're just getting started. Because introversion is only one piece of the puzzle. What if the real reason you struggle with friendships is because you don't trust easily? And in part 2, will uncover what your trust issues truly say about you. Stay with me. We're about to go deeper. Part 2. Trust issues. What your lack of friends reveals about your standards. So you don't let people in easily. You keep your guard up, hesitate before calling someone a friend, and refuse to trust blindly. But is that a weakness? Or is it a sign that you've seen the world for what it truly is? Trust isn't given, it's earned. Most people hand out trust like free samples at a store. They assume that just because someone smiles at them, agrees with them, or shares a few laughs, that person is loyal. But you see through that. You understand what the Stoics, the Vikings, and even Sun Tzu warned about. Not every handshake is honest. Why trust issues are often a sign of wisdom. The Vikings never trusted a man until he proved himself in battle. Sun Tzu wrote, "Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak." Because in war and in life, trusting the wrong person can be your downfall. Even Seneca cautioned, the less you depend on others, the stronger you become. So if you find yourself hesitant to trust, it might not mean you're broken, it might mean you've learned. Because once you've been betrayed, used, or let down enough times, you start to realize, not everyone deserves access to you. But here's the danger. If your walls are too high, you might block out the bad, but you'll also block out the good. That's why the Stoics teach us to balance trust with wisdom. 1. Know your roots. Trust starts with self-knowledge. If you don't know who you are, you won't know who to let in. Like a tree stands firm because it knows its roots, you must define your values before trusting others. 2. Expect change. People like seasons are never constant. Someone might seem trustworthy today, but different tomorrow. That's not a reason to build walls. It's a reason to stay adaptable. 3. Communicate with clarity. Talk openly, but listen carefully. If something feels off, address it. Trust is strengthened by clarity, but destroyed by assumption. If you struggle to trust, it might mean you value authenticity over fake connections. You've seen the cost of trusting too soon. You refuse to let history repeat itself, and that's not weakness. That's high standards. But trust issues aren't the only reason friendships feel distant. Because even if you're willing to trust, there's another challenge you might face. A lack of opportunities to meet the right people. And in part 3, we'll explore why so many struggle to form connections in today's world and what you can do about it. Stay with me. The answer is closer than you think. Part 3. Lack of social opportunities. Why you struggle to find your circle. So maybe your trust issues aren't the problem. Maybe you're willing to let people in, but the right people never seem to show up. You're not alone. In today's world, many feel like they're standing in a crowded room, yet completely unseen. But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's where you're looking? Let's go back to ancient Greece. Pythagoras, one of the most influential philosophers and mathematicians, didn't just gather students to teach them equations. He built a community, a group of people who shared the same hunger for knowledge. They lived together, trained together, and challenged each other's thinking every day. Because Pythagoras knew something most people today don't. Real connections don't happen by accident. You don't just stumble upon the right people. You go where they gather. If you work in a place where people only care about gossip, if your social circles revolve around drama instead of depth, if every interaction feels forced, empty, and draining, then maybe the issue isn't you, but your environment. Because the truth is, you can't form deep connections in shallow waters. Where to find people who think like you? 1. Go where values align. Just like Pythagoras built his own circle, find places where people value what you value. This could be philosophy groups, creative communities, or skill-based circles. 2. Put yourself in motion. Friendships don't happen when you're waiting. They happen when you're moving. Join events, speak up, show up, take the first step. 3. Give first, expect nothing. Friendships grow not by taking, but by giving. Give your time, your curiosity, your presence. Because Pythagoras didn't just sit alone and hope for great minds to appear. He built an environment where they could thrive. and you can do the same. But even if you find the right people, there's still one more challenge that might be standing in your way. Because making friends isn't just about opportunity, it's also about skill. And in part 4, we'll uncover what your social skills, or lack of them, say about you. Stay with me, because the next insight might surprise you. Part 4, lack of social skills, what your ability to connect says about you. Maybe you've found the right people, you've put yourself in the right places, but something still feels off. Conversations feel forced, connections feel distant, and no matter how hard you try, friendships never seem to stick. So what does that say about you? Are you just bad at socializing? Or have you never been taught the right way? Let's step into ancient Rome for a moment. Cicero, one of the greatest speakers and thinkers of his time, wasn't born with natural charisma. In fact, as a young man, he was awkward, hesitant, and often ignored. But he understood something crucial. Conversation is a skill, not a gift. So he trained. He studied the way people spoke. He practiced listening more than talking. He learned to ask the right questions, not just speak the right words. And over time, he became Rome's most respected orator, because he knew that the key to friendship wasn't about impressing people, but about making them feel understood. Some people try too hard to be interesting, instead of being interested. Others are so focused on what to say next, they forget to listen. Many see conversations as a performance, instead of what they truly are, a chance to understand someone deeper. Stoicism teaches us this. If you want to connect, master the art of listening. How to develop social skills like a Stoic orator. 1. Listen with intent, not just to reply. Instead of waiting for your turn to talk, focus on what's being said. People open up to those who truly hear them. 2. Ask questions that go beyond the surface. Instead of, "How was your weekend?" ask, "What's something that made you think deeply this week?" Depth creates bonding. 3. Become a mirror, not a spotlight. People are drawn to those who reflect their thoughts, not overshadow them. Be someone who allows others to be seen, instead of fighting to be noticed. Because Cicero didn't become respected by talking the most. He became respected by knowing when to stay silent. So if your lack of friends is due to weak social skills, remember this. Social ability isn't innate, it's trained. And the more you train, the stronger you become. But even if you've mastered the art of connection, there's another challenge ahead. Because no matter how good you are at conversations, life changes. People drift away. Priorities shift. And in part 5, we'll explore what your changing circumstances say about your friendships and about you. Stay with me. The next truth will hit deeper than you expect. Part 5, changing circumstances. What your evolving life says about your friendships. Maybe you're not bad at socializing. Maybe you do know how to connect, but something keeps happening. People come and go. Friendships that once felt unshakable start to fade. And no matter how much you try to hold on, life seems to pull everyone in different directions. So what does that say about you? Have you become harder to be around? Or have you simply outgrown the people you once knew? Let's go back to ancient Greece. Leonidas I, the warrior king of Sparta, wasn't always the leader of the 300 or even the king. As a young man, he trained alongside hundreds of Spartans, growing close to them as brothers. But as he rose in rank, trained harder, and took on greater responsibilities, something happened. Many of the men he once stood beside fell behind, not because they weren't strong, but because they weren't growing at the same pace. And when the day came to lead Greece's final stand against Persia, only a handful of warriors could stand with him. Because as he changed, so did the people who surrounded him. And that's exactly what happens in life. Modern friendship shifts, why people drift apart. The classmates you once saw every day, now on different paths. The friends you once laughed with, now chasing different priorities. The people who once understood you, now seem like strangers. It's not personal, it's just change. And Stoicism teaches us this. You cannot control the tides. You can only control how you sail. How to handle friendship changes like a Stoic warrior. 1. Accept that not every friendship is meant to last forever. Some friendships serve a season, others stay for life. Recognize the difference and let go when it's time. 2. Stay open to new connections. If your circle has shrunk, don't see it as loss. See it as space for better connections. Just as Leonidas found his strongest warriors over time, so will you. 3. Build friendships on values, not just history. The best friendships aren't built on how long you've known someone, but on how aligned you are today. Because Leonidas didn't force those who fell behind to follow him. He stood with the ones who were ready. And so should you. But what if you're not losing friends because of growth? What if your priorities have changed and friendships no longer seem as important? In part 6, we'll explore what shifting priorities say about you and whether you should fight for friendships or let them go. Stay with me. This next truth will challenge everything you thought you knew. But before we move forward, if this video has given you value so far, consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. Because these lessons aren't just meant to be watched, they're meant to be lived. And if you've made it this far, I already know you're the kind of person who values wisdom. Now let's continue, because this next truth will challenge everything you thought you knew. Part 6. Shifting priorities. What it means when friendships no longer feel important. Maybe your friendships aren't fading because of distance. Maybe it's because you've changed. There was a time when meeting up every weekend felt essential. When you'd drop everything to reply to a message, keep up with every conversation, and make sure no one felt left behind. But now you're focused on your goals. Now your time feels limited and valuable. Now you're starting to wonder, should I even be trying to hold on to these friendships? This isn't a modern struggle. Even Aristotle, one of history's greatest thinkers, observed this over 2,000 years ago. He believed there were 3 types of friendship. Friendships of utility, based on mutual benefit. These fade when the shared need disappears. Friendships of pleasure, based on fun and enjoyment. These fade when interests change. Friendships of virtue, based on shared values and deep respect. These friendships last a lifetime. If you've started letting go of friendships, ask yourself, was it a friendship of virtue or just convenience? Because as your priorities shift, so does the type of people you're drawn to. Modern friendship shifts. Why priorities change relationships. You used to value socializing. Now, you value self-improvement. You used to seek entertainment. Now you seek meaningful conversations. You used to fear missing out. Now you fear wasting time. And this is where most people struggle, because they feel guilty for outgrowing friendships. But here's the Stoic truth. It's not selfish to prioritize growth. It's necessary. How to balance growth and friendships like a Stoic thinker. 1. Recognize that not every friendship can follow you for life. Some friendships serve a season, and that's okay. Honor what they gave you, but don't force what no longer fits. 2. Make time for friendships that still align with your values. If someone still pushes you to grow, makes you think, and aligns with who you're becoming, that friendship is worth maintaining. But don't hold on to people just because of history. 3. Don't be afraid to walk alone for a while. Growth is often a lonely road. But solitude isn't isolation. It's a chance to find people who match your new path. Because Aristotle didn't say all friendships last. He said the right ones do. But what happens when it's not just friendships that feel distant, but you? What if you've started feeling disconnected from everyone, even yourself? In part 7, we'll uncover the deeper connection between friendships and mental well-being. Stay with me, because this next truth will force you to look inward. Part 7. Mental well-being. What your lack of friends reveals about your inner world. At this point, we've uncovered a lot. We've explored trust issues, social skills, changing priorities, and the natural shifts in friendships. But what if the real reason you struggle to maintain connections isn't external at all? What if it's something inside you? You feel disconnected even when people are around. You push people away even when you don't mean to. You feel unseen, unheard, or like you just don't belong anywhere. And that brings us to a hard truth. Sometimes, the way we experience friendships is a reflection of our mental well-being. Epictetus, the Roman Stoic philosopher, was born into slavery. For years, he had no freedom, no power, and no control over his life. But instead of breaking under the weight of his circumstances, he made a realization. True freedom isn't about what surrounds you, it's about how you think. And so, even though his body was enslaved, his mind was not. He trained himself to find clarity, resilience, and peace within. And that's exactly what we often forget today. Because the truth is, if your mind feels heavy, if your emotions feel unbalanced, if your heart feels distant, it will be hard to maintain friendships, no matter who you meet. Modern mental health and friendships, why your inner world matters. If you struggle with self-worth, you might assume people don't really like you. If you carry past betrayals, you might reject people before they get close. If you deal with anxiety or overthinking, every interaction might feel like a test you're failing. And here's where Stoicism gives us an answer. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm awkward. Nobody really wants to be my friend. I always say the wrong thing," then your mind will make those things feel true. But if you start shifting your inner dialogue, everything changes. How to improve mental well-being and rebuild connections. 1. Master your inner dialogue. Replace self-criticism with self-awareness. Instead of "I'm awkward," say "I'm learning to be comfortable in social settings." 2. Practice emotional detachment. Not everyone you meet will understand you, and that's okay. Focus on being authentic, not being liked. 3. Surround yourself with growth. Read Stoic philosophy. Train your mind to see things clearly instead of emotionally, because Epictetus never needed external validation to find inner peace, and neither do you. But here's the thing, we're almost at the final answer. Everything we've explored so far, trust, priorities, social skills, and mental well-being, has been leading up to one final realization. Because the truth about your lack of friends isn't just about external factors, or even about your mindset. It's about how you live your life. And in part 8, we'll uncover how your lifestyle choices may be the ultimate reason why your friendships, or lack of them, exist as they do. Stay with me, because the final answer is coming. Part 8. Lifestyle choices. How the way you live shapes your social world. Everything we've discussed so far, trust issues, shifting priorities, mental well-being, has been leading up to this. Because in the end, your friendships, or lack of them, are often a reflection of the life you've chosen to live. Not just your mindset, not just your circumstances, but the way you move through the world. Some people naturally attract deep friendships. Others naturally drift into solitude. And sometimes that has nothing to do with personality and everything to do with purpose. Julius Caesar, the loneliness of ambition. Let's step into ancient Rome. Julius Caesar wasn't just a leader. He was relentless, focused, obsessed with his mission. And because of that, his life was not built for friendships. He was surrounded by advisors, soldiers, and allies. But at the top, he was alone. Because those who chase greatness often walk a path few can follow. And the same applies today. If your lifestyle is built around deep focus, personal growth, or a relentless pursuit of excellence, your social circle will shrink. Not because you can't make friends, but because most people don't want to live like you do. If you're always hustling, learning, or building something bigger than yourself, you won't have time for casual, surface-level friendships. If you're constantly seeking knowledge, growth, or discipline, you'll outgrow people who prefer comfort over challenge. If your mission in life is uncommon, your social life will be too. And Stoicism teaches us this: the few who walk the hard road will never be surrounded by crowds. How to balance ambition and friendships like a Stoic leader. 1. Accept that not everyone will understand your path. Not everyone wants to grow at the same pace. That's not a reason to stop growing. 2. Find friends who align with your mission. Look for people who push you forward, not hold you back. One real ally is worth more than 10 surface-level friendships. 3. Embrace the fact that loneliness and greatness often walk together. Julius Caesar didn't seek companionship. He sought conquest. If you're building something great, prepare to walk alone at times. Because the truth is, the way you live your life determines the people who walk beside you. And now, we've reached the final moment. Because throughout this entire journey, there's been one lingering question. What does your lack of friends really say about you? Does it mean you're broken, difficult, undesirable? No. It means something far more powerful. Your lack of friends isn't a weakness. It's a reflection. A reflection of your growth, your standards, your priorities. Maybe you've struggled with trust. Maybe you've outgrown those who once surrounded you. Maybe your lifestyle simply doesn't fit the average social mold. But here's what matters. If you walk alone, it's because you refuse to walk with the wrong people. You don't chase validation. You don't waste time on shallow connections. You don't let the fear of loneliness make you settle for less. Because you're not just looking for friendships. You're looking for something real. And that makes you rare. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." So ask yourself, do you want just anyone beside you? Or do you want people who align with your journey? Because the truth is, you are not here to fit in. You are here to find people who truly resonate with the person you're becoming. And that takes time, patience, and wisdom. If this message resonated with you, let's make this conversation bigger. Leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, not just to support this channel, but to continue diving into the wisdom that's built for people like you. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what part of this video spoke to you the most? Because this isn't just a video, this is a journey, and you're part of it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon.